Welcome, everybody, to the Artist Coaching Podcast, the podcast for artists who are serious about their music career. And as you can see, we have two beautiful guys today. Jay's not here. We found a replacer. Now we have a very special guest in the house today. We have Arcando.
Yes.
Woo!
What's
Welcome.
going on, everyone?
How are you, man?
I'm good. Very happy to be here. I always really like doing podcasts and answering questions. So I'm really happy to dive in with you guys.
And this is the place to be for you. That's what we do.
For sure.
Answer questions. Yeah.
Yeah.
Ralph, did you ever meet him?
No, we never met. But I really like what you do. I think you're one of the more fresher artists that actually came into the scene. Obviously, you do something totally different than the normal EDM artist, and that's drum and bass, and that makes you stand out. And it's in a certain way that's really energetic. That's what we're also all about. And yeah, you stood out of all the gray mass, and I'm really happy to finally
Awesome.
meet. I didn't even know how you looked, to be honest. I don't follow you online, but I'm going to. And
We
yeah,
were
no,
talking, Ralph. We were talking last week during ADE. Was that last week? The week before? Week before.
that's the
Anyway,
week before. Yeah, time
during
flies.
ADE, I had a talk with him at the Stamped Record Studios, and that's where we met. And then he said that he saw a clip of the Artist Coaching Podcast where you were talking about him.
Oh, me?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
It was,
Yeah, well, I think I was full of praise then. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was right after Garrix. I don't know if it was about the collab or it was that he played my music at Ultra. And then you mentioned my name, and it was funny because Joey and Jay. I don't know what's Jay's real name.
Jopke.
Jopke.
Yop. Okay, well I'll just call him Jay.
Yeah, we
But,
do too.
Yeah.
Okay. But that Joey and Jay had never heard of my name before, so it was like quite a funny scene, and I got some fans who sent that clip to me.
Oh.
So and then I told Joey when we met each other at Stamped, and so it's
But
like
you're
full
being
circle now.
played by Martin Garrix, then being mentioned in our podcast is like this, you know.
Like
Yeah.
that's your.
Yeah.
You can quit now. You've reached it. That's it.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, but it's really cool, and I appreciate
Also,
the nice
to
words as well.
explain the dynamics here, like Joey and Jopke, they're the old conservative world, and I
Nah.
really like new shit.
Okay.
No way. You'll figure
Even
it out.
Jopke, I thought he was quite heavy with his songs too. No.
Yeah, he's finding his way back now with
Yeah,
whole
he's finding
melodic
his way back.
rave. He's been searching for a while, but I really feel like he's back on track right now.
Nice.
Yeah, he found
But
his,
you're, yeah, I'm hyped to hear your story, and I think a lot of the listeners and people who are watching right now also really are eager to hear what you're all about. So Joey always has these like really kick-ass questions. I'm here just to fill up some gaps and
For
say
sure.
stupid
yeah,
shit.
that's your role.
Sounds good.
Hey, before we get started, let's say welcome to everybody in the chat. What's up? Melodramatic, Legend, Bit3, Music IDs, Ben Singh, Gerard Francis, Grey Max, Kairos, Israel Carter, Kushagra, Jamie Chan, and holy shit, we have another donation, $100 from
Whoa.
the one and only Melodramatic early beer runs.
Dude.
Thank you, man, dude. He says what was a great interview at Stamped, so he attended.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah.
Good that you were there. Yeah.
Yeah, he's from the States. He's a client of Artist Coaching and also a regular watcher, and like he's always in the live stream. He's an amazing
that's
guy.
And he's
amazing.
actually a good producer as well.
Yeah,
Mm.
And he makes pure music. Like whenever he sends something, I like it for 60%, and the 60% is really amazing, and the 40% I'm always thinking like, man, what are you doing? But on the other hand, I really like it because it's like pure.
it's
It's
different.
shit that comes from within.
Yeah.
And that's something that sometimes, and that's also going to be a question for you because I always think when you're not doing anything, like there's no expectations, you haven't broken through, and then you're just in the studio making shit,
Yeah.
regardless. But now people actually have expectations. What does that do to you as a producer in the studio?
Oof, that's a very good question. Um, I think I base a lot of my music uh around when I play shows. So when I play a show, I look at the crowd and I'm like, what songs did well? What songs are what people expect, but you also want to have something that they can unexpect. That's why, especially within drum and bass, you have songs that are being turned into a VIP. I actually have never experienced a scene where they do it so much. So they
What
have
do you
like,
mean?
well, like I think 90% of the drum and bass producers they turn their own song into a VIP
Uh, and
purely for their live sets.
and what do you mean with a
Like a
VIP?
VIP mix, like nobody has it's like this
Exactly.
exclusive
Okay, yeah.
thing.
It's like an alternative version of that original song. And I've never been in a scene like that before because I used to be in the well, I started in the progressive house and big room scene.
Yeah.
So I did songs with Armada, Revealed, um, and then I went into pop. Then I did trap, future bass, and I've never really played shows back then. But ever
Yeah.
since I switched to drum and bass and I got my first couple of shows and now I'm playing every weekend, it's really funny to find out how the scene works and how you kind of build a set and how
Hmm.
to also build with other people's expectations, especially with drum and bass. Sure, you want to have songs that they can expect that they can sing along to, but there's going to be songs that you want to have that reaction like, what the fuck is this? And
Yeah.
that's the VIP mix that you play from a song that is also popular from yours, but it's like remixed. Um, and yeah, I feel like also kind of hooking into that. I think what's really difficult about the drum and bass scene is the attention span. So when
That
you
I think that's everywhere.
well, I think especially when you are like a progressive house DJ or you play or like you're Martin Garrix, and when he plays a set in 1 hour, I think he plays like 20 or 25 songs, and he plays them in full. With drum and bass in 1 hour, you can play between 60 and 70 songs,
Wow.
and it's just when I play a set like I had some Belgium shows the other weekend, and I would play around 65 songs in an hour. It's a lot of build up, drop, and the switches are so fast that you play in front of a crowd where, again, they want to be constantly
Hmm.
like expecting the unexpected,
That's
which
hard work, man.
it's
Yeah.
Like
very tough.
one
That
track every minute, huh?
It's the
Yeah,
one.
yeah,
Even
yeah, yeah,
more.
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah. And that's why I get always responses from, "Damn, man, like you're so sweaty." I'm like, "Well, it's like I just went to the gym, you know. I'm
Yeah.
playing so many songs." And I feel like that's at one part, that's what makes drum and bass so unique, but it's also what makes it so difficult to keep up with it, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Um,
one question in between. So your bookings are more in the drum and bass scene, or is it more in like the mainstream scene, or we are operating and all that kind of stuff, or both?
I would say both.
Okay.
It's a really unique position I'm put in because the songs that I play and the songs that I make um, are a mix of really commercial drum and bass, but also fitting into like other genres. So
Yeah.
some people would call it bass house and drum and bass. And sometimes I would play harder records or I would make harder records that then would be purely for like a drum and bass kind of vibe. So it's like a mix of both. Even for next year, I'm booked for some really big festivals in Asia that are also combined with artists like Brooks or some other like bass house kind of acts. And then there's me right in between. And sometimes I'm placed on a booking where it's just me and like five other drum and bass acts. So
And
it really
it
depends.
and is that something you kind of thought about or something that just happened?
It kind of just happened. I think um, answering the question, I kind of have to go a little bit back and give some more context. I think because in 2023 I wanted to stop making music, and I wanted to stop, kind of just like I was doing a lot of ghost production for other big artists, and that gave me money, so that made me like financially comfortable. And I wasn't really releasing much, and I back in 2023 and 2022, I still released a lot of different things. House, I did another future bass remix, and then I did like trap again. I was all over the place. And then in 2023, I was like, I don't know if this is going to be it for me anymore. So then I was trying a lot of really random stuff, drum and bass, still house, like a bunch of different things,
and,
because
and
I
why
still
were
wanted to release music.
and why were you kind of done with it? As in, you mentioned you kept trying different things, but it just didn't work out. So it kind of drained your motivation.
It didn't work out, as in, as I said earlier, I had no shows. I didn't get booked. I had fans. I still have the fans from back then, which is great, but
Mhm.
it wasn't fulfilling. It wasn't like I kind of built a name for myself, but I wasn't breaking the barrier, you know? I sent music to Monster Cat. They liked it, never wanted to sign. I sent music to Stamped. They kind of never even like checked out my stuff back then, to be really honest.
Mhm.
The
Um,
bastards.
well, it's the scene,
No,
you
it's
know,
how it works.
the
Yeah.
whole scene sucks when you
Basically, we've discussed this topic,
A
like
lot.
how many no's you will get, and
Yeah.
will never feedback, and we've discussed it. Like, yeah, it's so familiar.
Yeah.
yeah. And then so that was a reason where I was like, I'm doing these ghost productions. I'm doing like social media for other clients, and I was like, maybe just maybe I shouldn't be a DJ. Maybe I shouldn't be in the forefront. Um, but I still wanted to make music, and I was like, this is gonna be my last shot. And I was doing a lot of drum and bass remixes, and every time I did that, it did very well. But every time I did a remix like that, I always put it in the realm of drum and bass, but in my usual style. So I would
Mhm.
combine trap elements, future bass elements with drum and bass. And then at some point, we had an opportunity to do a remix for Jungle by the Chainsmokers and A-Lock. Um,
That's a cool
and
song.
Yeah, thank you. And that's the song that put me on the map, because Garrix played it. Like every bass house DJ played it.
Yeah.
Funny enough, because not a lot of drum and bass DJs have played that song in their sets.
It's mostly
Uh,
been like the EDM guys or something.
exactly, and
Yeah.
that's why it was such like a unique kind of position, because like even for Martin Garrix, like he never plays drum and bass. So for him to play something like that was very unique.
Yeah.
And I think that was a moment that I realized, 'cause even after the Ultra set of 2024 dropped, that moment was his most rewatched moment of the set.
That track, your
Yeah,
track.
that track. Yeah. And even in 2025, I did a Limitless remix and the collab. And also, those moments were his most rewatched moments of the set, together with the
That's really
Sleepless
cool.
That's
Nights
sick.
with
Yeah. I,
Armin van
I I
Buuren. Yeah.
must say, whenever there's like a drum and bass track in an EDM set, in an EDM-ish kind of set,
Yeah.
it just stands out. As in, and I think that's the power of what you do and why you find yourself in this kind of weird position. Because just by playing one or two of those tracks in a set, it just levels up the energy of the crowd.
Absolutely.
And you're used to doing that like 60 minutes long, but an EDM DJ is like twice maybe in a set, and that's it.
Yeah. Exactly. So yeah, that when I saw that and when I heard that, and after he played it, then Stamped reached out to me, Monster Cat reached out to me, like all the labels, everybody wanted to work with me. And I think because I put myself in a really unique position, especially because drum and bass is usually really dark and can be very jump uppy, not too melodic. Um, and also in the Netherlands, especially, I don't think there are a lot of drum and bass artists that are like still, how do you say that? Like not
Relevant.
Relevant or
relevant.
doing, yeah.
Relevant.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I wouldn't say relevant, but that have this approachable sound.
Hmm.
Like you had Noisia, but they quit. Then you have people like Imanu, T and Suga. But I feel like, especially in the Netherlands, it's so rare to find a drum and bass
Mm,
artist that actually, reaches people and has that kind of popularity.
Yeah.
So I think also that plays along.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah,
It's
does that answer your question? Actually, I've been kind
no, it's a total side quest, man. But fuck it,
of.
it's an interesting.
Yeah, man.
what,
Sorry.
what I'm curious to hear about, because that's probably
No, I did.
what a lot of the
Just
listeners want to know as well. Most of our listeners are in the position where you were probably like around 2023, where you're about to give up and were a bit lost, maybe. Um, and then suddenly you find yourself in this position that you get the option to collab with Martin Garrix. Like, how did that went? Like, how do you get into that position? Is that just by the support that you got from him, or?
Yeah, I think. Um, yeah, how did that go? I think like we have tried other ideas too. Like he already knew that he wanted to do like a drum and bass record at
Mhm.
some point with me, but it was really trying to figure out what kind of song that would be. And then he asked me also to do the Limitless remix, to have like some other song to back up that collab. And I think when he noticed that those songs did well, he just reached out to me. I think this year or like last year, November or something, with a top line that he wrote. I think also specifically for his EP release, um, and that was the song that he wrote with Bon,
Bond?
and it was very yeah Bon. He's the vocalist on "Set Me
Okay.
Free." He sang on "High on Life."
yeah,
I
high
think
on
like a
life.
few other like Alan Walker songs. Really cool vocalist. And so they initially wrote the song and then they sent it to me. That's how the song just came about.
So how it kind of went is he first supported your music, like your own original stuff,
Yeah,
and then he kind of found out about you through that song, and he was like, "Oh shit, this guy makes quality stuff."
yeah,
And then
It's
he,
basically that what you say, you know.
yeah,
That's one of the most important aspects, and that's also how we have experienced it. You just hear quality stuff, and that makes you interested.
yeah,
yeah,
And that's something Arcando and many artists before him and will do later on is just bring quality shit, and then somebody at some point will acknowledge that
yeah,
and think to him or herself like there's something in this. Let's do something together. And yeah, that's that break you're waiting for.
yeah,
yeah,
It starts with quality, and that's like you really put yourself in that position.
yeah. I think also because like I see that other artists get supported by like other big DJs, even like Martin Garrix. Like there's other DJs who also get played by Martin Garrix. But then I think what made it so like such a golden ticket for me is that he played like a drum and bass song for the first time like ever, apart from like maybe Buttadon, but in my opinion
mm,
that doesn't really count.
Mm.
Um, and I think the fact that he did something like that is a really unique kind of entryway. Because nowadays, even when you get played by, let's say, Afrojack, and it's just a house song, I don't think that's going to do much anymore.
yeah.
Just
It's
like
hard.
releasing with Stamped. As an artist, that's not going to do much anymore.
Yeah,
So I feel like I've been put in such a lucky and unique position that yeah, I don't think that's um, that's easy for anyone else to be in that position anymore. For like
yeah.
any other
You
DJ.
could kind of say that you kind of found a bridge between an underground niche scene, which is the drum and bass, and the commercial bigger EDM scene, and you kind of made the bridge between those two sounds, right?
Oh, absolutely, yeah. Because drum and bass used to be super underground,
Yeah, definitely.
and
Yeah,
over the years it got more acceptable and more like um,
Well, it's
toegankelijk.
still pretty much a real. It's like a really small niche, actually.
still is. Yeah,
Yeah,
Yeah.
but it like more and more it gets popular in a lot of European countries now, even America.
Okay.
Even for next year, we're trying to do shows in America and more in Asia. So I feel like because it gets more toegankelijk, how did you
Yeah.
accessible.
Well, accessible.
accessible?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. because it gets more accessible. It reaches a lot of new people, and also because the kind of top DJs play it now,
Yeah,
like
exactly.
David Guetta, Martin Garrix, Afrojack.
Yeah, I
I
saw
think
John Summit did it
John
pretty
Summit. Yeah,
early on, and he has with who
I think
Subtronics or
Dimension.
Subsonic.
oh Dimension, of course. Yeah, we actually
Dimension.
play. Dimension is pretty
Dude,
big. Yeah, we played
Dimension has
actually.
such
Yeah,
banger songs. I have like a drum and bass playlist. Probably half of it is his. Like
yeah.
Yeah,
it's insane.
No, we played after him in Tomorrowland 2 years back, and I wasn't familiar with what Dimension was or who or what. I didn't know, but it was really kick-ass.
Yeah.
And dude is popular. Whoa.
yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
And yeah, they're like making they're paving the way for drum and bass. That's
Yeah.
totally true. Forgot about him. Yeah.
I want to go back quickly to that moment where you were in 2023. Like, what do you think, looking back in hindsight, changed in your mind, which caused you to be more successful now? Because you've been making music for a long period of time, and somehow something changed in 2023. What do you think was the key to that solution?
Um, like what made me make drum and bass, or
No,
like
what
what
did
do
you
you?
started doing differently, which caused you to be successful now with your music?
Well, I think. Oh, well, actually, I can actually answer that. I think more than no, because I had like a whole different answer in mind. But I think what I paid a lot more attention to now more than back then is songwriting and what works when I play it live.
Hmm.
So I never used to play a show. So in my mind, even when I was making future bass, it was like it has to be complicated and it has to be unique and fucking 50 kicks and a drop, just to be kind of unique. But I think what I realized, especially now that I'm playing so many shows, and now that I pay a lot of attention to, can people sing along? Is it catchy? And is it simple? I never believed in simplicity is the key. I always thought it has to be complicated because that's unique. Because if it's
Hmm.
complicated, then people are going to be like, "What did I just hear?" And then
Yeah.
you got to re-listen to it. But what I learned is that people just want to listen. People don't care about like how unique or how complicated a song is. When you play a song, it has to be simple. And also when I write songs with other vocalists, it's always like, okay, scenery, nothing about love or anything or about something complicated, but it's about raving, the club.
Yeah.
What makes it uh, resemble the raver? Like if,
Yeah.
if if I'm partying and I'm listening to the lyrics, it's like I'm listening to the song and I understand it because I'm experiencing it right now, what
Hmm.
is being put in the
Yeah.
song. And I never used to think about that until I played so many more shows.
It's kind of more tailored to the context, right? And that's what a lot of producers seem to forget, which is logical because you're in this square box making music in your bedroom,
Hmm.
and it's very hard to put yourself in the position of where that music might end up, right? So if the music gets played on a square where there's like 10,000 people, that's different than it's being played in your room. So I think Ralph is doing this very well as well, and I think that's what I've been admiring
Yeah,
for
I've been
you.
advocating this for over a decade.
Exactly.
Nobody listened.
No, but it's really this. Like Ralph also knows how to make music for the dance floor because people
Yeah,
are there to dance, right? To
You know,
exactly.
party.
a lot of producers always make the error, which I also did in the beginning, that you're actually making music for other producers.
Exactly.
That's not what it's about. It's
No,
about people going out, want to forget about the week, their stupid boss or something, just take a beer or something else. I'm not judging, and just forget about shit. It should just, and also what you said about songwriting. I mean, it can be about love, it can be about anything, but it's the more personal it gets, the nicer it will be, and also something familiar, like, oh snap, this is me, this is
Yeah.
me, I totally relate to this.
Exactly.
And I think, and I always call it, keeping shit simple is actually genius. That's the hardest thing to do.
Yeah.
Keeping it simple. I mean, production wise, what do you do? Ah, shit, doesn't drop. So what do? You put in like all these FX and shit on the
Extra
drop,
compressors.
noises, and man, there's this whole palette of stupid waves and media, of course. And then you go like, shit, this is not what it's about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just I approached it wrong. Scrap everything, keep it simple,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
nobody
That's
will care about it. Everybody who's on the dance floor, they will not care how it's made.
yeah.
It just needs to
Exactly.
sound
I love this part as in the fact what
okay.
you said, like most producers make music for other producers, while the real
Definitely.
audience is the audience, right? And those are people who don't know what a compressor is, who don't know what a limiter is. They just want to
Exactly.
experience the sound.
How
And
many times have we been judging about tracks that broke through? Like, how can this be such a simple track?
such a
No,
simple
man, it's
thing.
genius.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Yeah.
And
Hey,
we've all been there. I've been there as
I've been
well.
there
Yeah.
too. Oh man, the times that I was cursing, like, how does this
Yeah.
become a hit? Listen to my stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. But I think what you just said is exactly what my problem was
Mm,
when I was not just starting out, but like the before I switched to drum and bass and before I played any show is exactly what you said is I was making music to impress other music producers. That's why not a lot of artists would even play my music live because I was just trying to be too complicated
yeah,
and
Mm.
I wasn't thinking about what would work on the dance floor. But I'm not even blaming myself for that because I never played a show. So my whole goal was never to make a show for the dance floor because I never played a show myself.
yeah,
So
Mm.
it's almost like I wanted to impress myself in the studio
yeah,
because that's all I knew, you know?
exactly.
Hey,
Very
and
good
by the
point.
way, your music doesn't sound simple at all. It's
No,
actually, I think,
not at all.
sound design wise, it's pretty impressive.
Yeah,
Thank you.
And I'm always also a big advocate for. Joey always says like mixing and all that shit isn't being creative. Well, I think it is actually. And your music, and that's what stands out. It just enters. It drops so hard.
Thank you.
It really
it
makes an
does.
entrance,
Yeah,
and especially in a Martin Garrix set. I'm not a really big fan of progressive house music. I mean, sometimes I like it, but most of the times I don't, especially not for half an hour. But in a set, actually, and I think Martijn is also like this evil genius. He knows how to play a set, and then he has his bass house. He has the majority is progressive. He has hits, whoa, and then he squeezes in Arcando.
and it just surprises
Man,
everybody. It's like what the,
yeah.
Yeah. Thank
Let-
Then
you.
let-
everybody's turned. Like I'm a
yeah,
big fan. Boom.
yeah, me too.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's amazing.
And that's
Thank you.
cool. And that's also that won't work with every drum and bass drop. I think yeah, you make it sound a little bit EDM with those leads, and I have no clue how you make them. And but I think that's where the success lies because that's makes it a little bit more adjustable to even a Garrick set.
yeah,
Exactly. I feel like it's again what I said earlier. It's more approachable,
No,
and I try to reach a wider audience. That's why even in the comments now I'm getting people who say, "Oh, I never used to like drum and bass until I heard your music," and to me, that's like the
no,
biggest compliment. You
yeah.
know?
I can imagine.
no,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's go into the next
no,
the
no, no,
next.
no, 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 no,
Oh
no,
yeah.
no. I have one other question which I might
Ralph
forget
is on
now.
the chair today. Like he's on
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
fire.
yeah. No, yeah. You can notice when I think
Yeah.
something is when
He's
you normally start talking about AI and shit, I just zone out. No, did you have difficulty getting accepted by the drum and bass crowd or scene,
Ooh,
or
that is a really good question. Um, I would say still to this day, I have difficulties being accepted.
yeah, they want
Um,
you to prove that you're one of them?
exactly.
Yeah,
I
okay.
feel like number one, the drum and bass scene is very tight. Like the people who play at the festivals now are the same people who play the festivals 8 years ago. And that makes sense, but
Oh,
there's a lot of little or a lot less room for new artists, especially if it's like on the main stage. Um, like even I played a Drum Shed's main stage last year. It's like a venue for like 9,000 people.
Dude.
And I played there, and I've only been in the scene back then for like I think 10 months. And there were other artists who recognized me. They were like, "Oh, you're playing in like this third room." I said, "No, I'm playing on the main room." What? And people are like, couldn't believe it. And sometimes I even get like, um,
Hate?
yeah, well, like a lot of questionable
Hmm.
remarks from people. That's
Yeah.
like, does he even make his own music? And like, how did he just fall into the scene?
Uh,
But they have to realize I've been in the music scene for 11 years now, almost 12 years.
Yeah.
And I just think it happened so fast, and because the success for me happened so fast within like 1.5 years, people who've been in the scene for 8 years and are in the same or even in a lesser like direction than me are feeling like, I
yeah.
don't know if it's jealousy, but it's like, damn, like how did this
Yeah.
guy get
You just
where
passed
I
him.
always say that, you can't blame people. I mean, it's a passion, and especially when it comes to niches like that, like people are even more passionate about it. I mean, it's not a choice for fame or glory. It really comes from within, and I get that they're protective over
Yeah.
their passion, So I would always just smile about it, and yeah, I mean, you can understand why people would frown a little bit when, like this, EDM kid steps in and
Yeah, but
steps up.
it
You have
always
to step
sucks,
up your
right?
game because of him or her.
Yeah. It always
So,
sucks to
but
be
yeah.
passed by somebody. It's like, yeah, it hurts
I
your
have to
ego.
be honest that sometimes it does take a toll on me. Like even when I post something, I'll give you an example. Even when I post something on Instagram and then I look at the likes and it has like whatever, 2 or 3 thousand likes. I'm like, perfect. But then I look at who liked it, and there are barely other drum and bass artists
Mm.
that like my post. And then when I look at whatever, like another, like I would say relative smaller act, but still booming in the drum and bass scene, and I look at his likes and it's popping. And he has like a lot of likes from drum and bass influencers or artists. And that makes me kind of feel like a bit like left out.
Yeah, I
I
can
get
And
imagine.
it.
then I start to have a lot of self doubt, and then I can have like an hour just overthinking everything that I do, because I want to be included. I want to be liked, which sometimes can be a
Yeah.
little um
Yeah.
I don't know how to
It's
say it,
Achilles
it's
like,
it's
heel.
not
It's
the
your
best
Achilles heel.
motivator there is. I want to be
yeah,
liked,
yeah,
but I
yeah.
get it. It's a normal human emotion.
I
Also,
have
before Joey, no,
no, I have a
shut up.
quote for you. I have a quote for you to remember in
Oh,
this case.
okay.
Okay.
First they ignore you, then they laugh at you, then they fight you, and then you win.
Yeah,
Like
yeah, yeah,
right
yeah.
now, you're in the fighting stage, as in they're trying to fight you, like you're not
Uh,
one of us, blah blah blah. But eventually, they'll approve you, as in like, holy shit, this guy knows his stuff, right? So it's all a
The
matter
real
about
ones
like
will acknowledge quality, so I
exactly,
wouldn't be too
exactly.
scared. I have one simple. This is the simplest question there is.
And then we go
I
to the
read your
Joey
name,
questions.
and that's yeah, and that's and then not the Arcando part, but you're called Marc Bandecchi, like
Yeah,
this
Bandecchi. Yeah.
Italian.
Italian.
Is
Yeah,
that
it's
your real name? Okay,
yeah,
Italian
Mark
descent.
Bandecchi.
Because we actually didn't give you a proper introduction. I actually wouldn't know because I now read your name. But for the people who are listening or watching right now, who are you? Where are you born? What's your age? And your favorite football club?
Well, I don't watch football, but
Oh shit.
My
anyway,
guy, my guy.
anyways, well, my
Favorite
name is
sport?
uh,
Favorite sports
yeah,
character?
I got you, I got you, I got you. My name is Mark Bandecchi. I am born in the Netherlands in Leiden, but I'm raised half Italian. My dad is from Pisa,
Oh.
um, and I'm 26 years old, and I've played tennis for I think like 16 or 17 years now. So that's
Ah.
like the sport that I've
Okay.
always kind of liked.
Do you play
But
padel right now?
no, no, no. I
Dude.
sometimes play squash, but
Oh, I
I,
used to play a lot of
yeah, me
squash.
too. Okay,
Oh, nice.
push.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
we push.
worked at
Awesome.
a tennis
Yeah.
hall.
Oh,
And your
oh.
favorite sports character, is that Rafael Nadal or
Um,
Pete
well,
Sampras?
I get like I don't like to watch sports. I just do it
Okay.
myself. So I don't
Okay.
like. I think Nadal or a Federer is fine, but other than that, I
Yeah.
really
Nice.
don't give a shit.
Michael Jordan, you can pick Michael Jordan. I'm a big fan of Toto
All right, I'll
Wolff.
pick Michael Jordan.
Oh,
That's
okay.
Okay.
fine too.
Okay. Here. Hey, quick break. If you're an artist who's serious about growing his career, but you feel stuck and you don't know what to do, you feel overwhelmed, that's exactly what we help you with at Artist Coaching. At Artist Coaching, we offer one-on-one personal coaching for DJs and music producers who want to turn their passion into a sustainable career. Whether you're struggling with finishing your music, building your brand, or just figuring out how to stand out, we've been there and we can help. If that sounds like you, head over to artistcoaching.nl and book your free intake call so we can check where you're at in your career and see if we can help you. All right, back to the episode. Oh,
Oh shit!
there we go. We've got
I
jingles.
love this. This
Yeah,
is
it's all
amazing.
AI created, man. It's like
Nice.
I've kind of topped myself, and I'm pretty bummed about it because we need more jingles, but I can't make any better ones than these. So I kind
This
No,
of
these
one
are
is the
fire.
best.
I love it.
this is the best. I can't. Yeah. Anyway, community questions every week. You can send in your questions right into our Discord community, which we will take into this episode. And just as always, we received questions from. Let's say the first one is from Bit3. We kind of answered it. How the Set Me Free collab happened. From ID, well, we can kind of go into from ID to final master. Like, can you go into detail, like in that
Sure.
project?
So, for specifically Set Me Free, I think it was about like, yeah, like I would say 7 or 8 months ago that he sent me the top line with just some simple chords. And then he was like, "Do you want to work on this?" And I was like, "Yeah, like this is absolutely amazing." I got the stems, and actually, this is a quite funny. This is a quite funny story I want to add to this because before the Set Me Free release came about, I had 2 or 3 other versions that I made for Martin because I didn't want to make like I wanted to do something different because I didn't want to do another jungle kind of alternative option, and I wanted to try something different. And every time I tried something different, Martine said, "No, I don't like it. No, it's too complicated."
Yeah.
And then I was like, "All right, you know what? Let me just make something that he's playing right now, which is jungle, and let me mix that with Ascend, which is another drum and bass song of mine that got signed on Stamped and that he's playing all the time." So I literally combined both, and then Set Me Free happened, and he said, "Oh, this is amazing," and he just wanted me to change the melody a bit. And then we sent stems back and forth. Then we had a first initial master for the song, which was cool, but it lacked like a lot of depth and extra vocal additions. And then there was a second master, and that's it. And then the song got finished.
Was that the track we listened to in Dolby?
Ascend?
No, the Set Me Free remix.
No. That's Ascend with
Send. Oh,
Fluar.
we
Yeah.
in the Stamp Studios with ADE. He got to listen to the Dolby mix of his own track, and we all
Mm.
listened with him. Pretty sick.
Yeah, that was Ascend.
Okay,
Yeah.
yeah, that was pretty sick.
Nice.
Next question is from Legend. Did you know about the Dylan Francis collab with Garrix, that it has the same name as yours? And if
Yeah.
so, why did you still decide to go for this title?
Well, first of all, it wasn't my decision.
Okay.
So it was totally their decision to name it Set Me Free.
Oh,
Matter of
yeah.
fact, the first title of the song was called Begging for More. But I don't think Martine liked that title, neither did I. And when I received the release calendar and like the release, like the marketing plan, it was always called Set Me Free. And at that point, I also asked one of the A&Rs, like, do we want to name it Set Me Free? Because there's another song with Dylan Francis. And I always got the answer that, no, we're just going to name it Set Me Free. Fits the song the best. And, well,
Here we
it's
are.
not like I don't have a song called Set Me Free. So I really couldn't give
Oh,
a shit. But,
sorry.
you know, yeah,
Okay.
that's how it came about.
Okay. Thank
I
you.
actually looked at it. I thought you were going to say, well, bass shakers have this song called Set Me Free. We cannot do
Yeah, well,
this. Yeah, I
I
was.
feel like that's such an
Yeah.
like a title. It's used so many
Didn't we
times, you
talk
know.
about it? Like,
Yeah,
Set Me Free is one of the most used titles there is.
a couple of
Yeah.
weeks ago we came up with it, like, and then somebody mentioned that Martin Garrix, the one of had one of these songs, and I believe you had it. Did Jay
Ah,
have
me
one
too.
as
Yeah,
well?
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I
I
don't know,
think.
but I'm now just checking out Set Me Free on
Yeah,
Spotify.
exactly. It's insane. Hey, we've got some
Numbers.
production questions here from DJ
Oh,
AJ.
Armin
EJ.
van Buren with Sasha just
Yeah.
Oh
came
yeah,
out.
yeah.
Yeah.
There we go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Set me free.
You have
Aaron
such
Abel.
beautiful mixed loud sounds all over the place that somehow still seem to find a place in the mix. I'm curious about your system in achieving this. Do you use heavy clipping, limiting compression, and what is your thought process on where to apply it?
Um.
Everywhere.
Yeah, I would say like I clip almost everything. Um. I think the really
On the mixer
loud.
tracks itself, I mean, you do it with, I think, your sounds. That's pretty obvious.
Yeah.
But
I
also your
think.
kicks and all.
Yeah, I think sometimes it depends. If I really want to have a super loud mix, I would just to like top off the really hard peaks.
Okay.
But like even in jungle, it really also depends on what kind of soundscape I'm going for. Because in jungle, I actually barely did any hard clipping or soft clipping at all.
Hmm.
Reason being is because I wanted to keep it really like natural and like less,
Yeah, a bit more dynamic.
yeah, a bit more
Yeah.
dynamic. And then there's other songs like Busback, which is a really loud track, or Ultrasound, that uses a lot of clipping because that's a really heavy dance floor song. So also soundscape wise, that can really make uh, like a change
Yeah,
in decision.
I'm not a expert on drum and bass at all, and actually now I'm just thinking about it right now. But what makes me question is because when we do a track, we either have, and now it's kick bass quite a lot, or you take a little bit of a rumble in there. But with drum and bass, because your kick is, it's not a four to the floor, it's just occasionally there.
Yeah.
So you won't have these low ends in the track that much as other dance music, which makes the dynamic totally different. To be honest, I think you can limit like way more. What kind of loves are you approaching, or yeah, what's the goal here? Or
I think the loves that I'm aiming for is around -3, minus
oh
2.5.
yeah, to be
Um,
I will never get there. Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
it's. I think a lot of yeah, I think a lot of like really loud drum and bass songs, or like the average drum and bass song, is peaking around -3. And I think what you're saying about low end, you got to remember that it's not just about the kick; it's also about the snare. The snare that
Mm-hmm.
we use
Oh, you
has,
have
Oh, it then has
ah
sub
yeah,
as well,
the
right?
snare exactly. The
Yeah.
snare carries so much body
yeah,
that even that can't be counted as a kick.
Hmm.
yeah.
So that also carries it.
Yeah, see,
Huh.
this is interesting, man.
Interesting shit,
Yeah, I
Ralph. You can
like,
learn from this
yeah.
guy.
Yeah.
No, but I mean, you're not familiar with it.
Yeah.
And to be honest, when I would do a lot of bounce music now. And I mean, we distort and really clip quite a lot now, way more than we used to. But to be honest, when I get to -4 loves, I'm pretty happy with that without the total going clipping
Mm.
too much. Yeah. And I mean, -3, dude. No.
Praise.
It
Yeah.
really depends. Like even
Yeah.
jungle, that's -6 or like -5 LUFS at the loudest part.
Hmm.
Okay.
It really depends per song, and also like I think the song that I did with the Parappa's Ultrasound, that is I think at -2 LUFS.
Hmm.
And it's a lot of. I remember when we did the mixing, it's a lot of usage of an oscilloscope, and there's different ways to really make sure that the kick and the snare don't have any extra frequencies putting like placed on top, and you can see that on an oscilloscope. And when you take away a lot of elements that are on top of the kick and snare with like with side chaining or
Hmm.
whatever, then you can get an even louder mix.
Yeah.
Hmm.
So I think and a lot of like stereo and mid balancing. Sorry, side and mid balancing
Yeah.
with like an EQ.
Yeah, yeah,
Um,
do it with parametric
yeah, yeah,
EQ.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. No, not
I
parametric with
The
the
fat
FAB
filter.
filter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Fat filter Pro
Okay.
Q. To also really shape a sound and make everything like belong to like a
A
box
certain
pretty
spot.
much. Like
Yeah.
everything is put in its own spot.
Yeah.
And also with these songs, there are a lot of layers, but at the core of it, I think there's like maybe like I think 20 or like
Hmm.
18
It's not too
stems
much.
if you put everything together. So it's nothing too crazy, you know.
Yeah. We've got another question from Melodramatic. Is it worth investing into a personal website, or is using a service like Komi, Feature FM, or Linktree does that matter? Is that enough?
Um, I've never liked like I have an own website, but I don't use that for people to listen to my music or to like you want to have a website that's um I would say a third party website is probably the best because if anything happens, like some sort of error, that you don't have to rely on your own website, but it's just relying on like the third party website. And I think Linktree or Komi are probably the
Yeah.
most
Most
trustworthy
useful. Yeah.
ones.
Okay.
Think for now that's the best, and then when you get to a certain point, yeah, you must invest. It's always good to have like this one pager
Yeah.
website where everything is like clear to see. You're
It's like a home base,
touring.
right? Like where all the information is right, where you just go
Yeah,
like
like you're linked to all the socials,
exactly.
to your SoundCloud, and all that
It's like
kind
a
of
landing
stuff.
page.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Question from Siliox. As a drum and bass producer myself, do you have any
Hey.
tips and or advice?
About like the music or how to become
I
like
think in
a
general.
um
That
I would yeah, what
no,
is it?
there's a follow-up question here, which is more like focused, which is how do you find and make melodies with basses? What's the process?
Um wait, repeat it
Just
again.
open MIDI banks, man,
How
and
do you
just
find and make melodies with basses?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, as what Ralph said, it's just
MIDI files.
um no,
And
I
do you
would
also
well,
start like in Splice or whatever, and you just browse through sounds, and then
oh
you
yeah, of
get,
course.
yeah, that always gets me going. And sometimes even the start of a melody is there. I'm like, okay, I'm taking this.
Yep.
Or I hear that melody and I just heard another sound, like, oh man, that's like this cool combination.
Yeah,
And
actually
yeah,
what I do if I'm this is not really a direct answer to that question, but I think for inspiration, what I do is let's say I'm working on the track, I would pitch the track up and down. So I would pitch it to like -3. And then sometimes I'm hearing it and I'm like, oh, but this is actually really cool. And I'm like singing another melody in my head, or it would give me like another inspiration point.
Hmm.
That's
Just
actually funny
simply,
because a tone actually makes so much different when you're low
yeah,
end. Your
Yep.
basses sound a little bit different, then it just clicks, you know.
Do you?
exactly.
I actually do this like a lot of the times. Plus one, plus two, minus one,
Exactly.
minus two. Hey, you always start with this ideal, like, okay, I feel G or G sharp, and then you just search down the ladder which might work better,
Yeah.
and
Change
Yeah.
maybe
the
even
vibes.
E, then you go like, oh man, this is it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and sometimes that can give you that inspiration that you're looking for from the beginning.
Yeah.
And I think when it comes down to melodies, it's just it's I sing quite a lot for my not in my tracks, but for my tracks. So let's say I have a chord progression, I would sing something that comes to mind, and I've also studied at the conservatory, so I've been kind of
Mm.
trained to play melodies and to find like catchy hooks or whatever. And it's just yeah, I would say try and sing more and
Yeah.
feel the melody that
Yeah.
you
Martijn always used to sing quite a lot as well, his melodies, and the guy I work with a lot, Rens as well. But I'm a total searcher. I have
mm,
my which door do you actually work in?
Ableton.
Oh, Ableton.
Hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
I work in FL Studio, and I just open up the piano roll. In Ableton, that's not the most suitable piano roll for that matter, and I just search,
Well, yeah,
What
put them
sounds right? Yeah.
everywhere, and at some point you kind of know these patterns, and it gets easier. But yeah, I don't sing at all.
Here's
But
a
whatever
okay,
works, yeah, it's a good tip because yeah, sometimes you just hear it,
yeah,
you go,
exactly,
yeah.
and
yeah.
then
Here's a question from Future. Were there any production habits or techniques that you learned from Martin Garrix?
Um, that's a good question. I would say when he sent me the MIDI file of the chords, I was like, holy shit, this is actually pretty cool, you know? And we had one studio session together, but that whole session was just really that whole night I had with him was just really strange because I slept for like 1 hour. Then he wanted me to wake up at 4 a.m. to already be in the studio. And then he had to leave 3 hours afterwards to the airport. So we had like 3 hours of just sharing presets together. And it was just, I wouldn't say that I didn't learn anything, but it wasn't like he was mentoring me or
Yeah,
whatever, you know?
exactly. Yeah. Okay.
So, yeah.
Okay. Question from Aston Ray. That's the last one. How much time do you take from one genre to another to understand another genre's drum patterns, sound design, sound chord progression, etc.? So from future bass to drum and bass, do you have any tips and advice to switch genres?
Um, do I have any advice? Well, it really depends on your position. Like,
Hmm.
are you already playing shows right now in a certain genre? Why would you want to change to begin with?
Hmm.
I wouldn't recommend changing just because you want to change. Like, that's not a good argument for me. Or I think not for me. Not like you want to prove me wrong here, but I think you should change when you notice that you aren't being booked anymore. I think you should change when you kind of lost your sound, when you don't really know what you want to do anymore. And I think, yeah, I think advice to change.
yeah, I actually have an answer to that, but looking from a different perspective. If you hear something that interests you, jump on it,
Hmm.
explore, and then decide whether or not you want to change more or not. Yeah, or, if you want to go in that direction. Yeah, that's what for me always counted. Whenever I heard something that I thought to myself, dude, I want to know more about this shit, you just explore
Yeah.
wherever it leads. Doesn't
Yeah.
matter.
Good point. Like
I
if
think
you,
also a lot of what Mark was saying, like thinking you should change is actually a little bit weird.
yeah.
That's not a starting point.
Exactly. I think, and I also want to say, like, experimenting is never wrong, but make sure that there's a fine balance between experimenting and then just releasing whatever experiment you make. That's a mistake I did.
Yeah.
What I
Then
also
you
was
go
talking
all
about
over the
the
place.
exactly what
Yeah.
I talked about at the stamp talk
Yeah.
is I did a really heavy trap song with NCS, and then a month later I released Slap House, and then I went back to Future Bass, and then I
Yeah.
did another Slap House
People
Mm.
cover.
get lost.
People get lost, and I could say, yeah, well, at least I'm changing genres, but that's not how you get shows. That's not how you should do it. And trust me, because I've been there. I
Yeah.
never got a show because people don't know what your sound is.
Yeah.
People don't know what to expect,
You,
but in a bad way,
you
you
need to
know?
be
Mm.
consistent, right? Like you need to be consistent with what you put out so people know what to expect in some sort of way. It's just such a
Exactly.
paradox because most artists think that they should keep reinventing the wheel every single time. But you kind of just need to keep doing the same thing, like slight improvements or slight experiments here and there, but stick to the fundamentals. Like most of the songs need to kind of be the same in some kind of way.
If they're a little bit successful, I mean,
Yeah,
if
yeah,
nobody's
true.
listening, nobody cares.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey guys, we're gonna do something for the first time on this podcast, and
Oh
that
yeah.
came from our ADE event where we roasted some people in real life. So
Oh, yeah.
we're gonna start doing that in the podcast from now on. So we had a lot of people applying to get roasted, and the bot picked out one name.
Jay Hardway.
Yeah, that was fun.
Oh.
Which is, let me share his Instagram account. It's Mikey Foden. You can. He's
Hey, Mikey.
a regular listener from the podcast, and he's an active member of the community. So we have his account right in front of us, guys. Here we go. Like, what do you see when you look at this? What's your first impression?
Photonized frequencies. Well, he has a lot of text in there. Marlow Megamix. Wait till you go a little bit too fast for my rings. 111 tracks from Marlow.
I think to me this doesn't look cohesive. I think, as what Ralph said, there's a lot of text, and then
he
I
got
see a lot of
married.
that is amazing, but I see a lot of like different kind of posts.
Yeah,
Like
it's all
it
over the
doesn't.
place.
Yeah,
There's no cohesive. Yeah, as you said, like I think what's good is that you see a lot of personal stuff. So you kind of get an insight into your life.
yeah, but this looks more like a personal page than an actual professional page.
Yeah, what I don't like is these kind of things, like the photonized frequencies. It feels like an ad. It feels like I want to sell you something.
Exactly.
So I would do less text, like things like this. It's too much of an ad because it's like, hey, please come watch me. Um, you can
Yeah,
still bring the same message, but maybe make a video and just explain what you're going to do, like you're going to play on Kiss FM, for example.
yeah,
But just post that instead of this picture because this feels like an ad.
yeah. This is not entertaining.
Yeah, exactly.
You always have to find a way to make people want to watch something, even for like 2 seconds longer. But this to me doesn't make me feel entertained. Like I want to check out that picture, you know?
Yeah,
Um,
exactly. I like this shirt though. Is it trance or is it techno?
yeah, it's pretty badass.
Yeah. No, there is some of the things go right here, like the DJ
The
videos.
t-shirt
And
game is on point.
the T-shirt game is really on
Yeah,
point. You should do more with that. Like maybe that's one of the
Mm,
things you should point out.
that's
Um,
fire.
but
you know
like,
what I miss? Like, there's a lot of people doing shit online, and Mikey doesn't have like a thing.
yeah, exactly.
If I look at it, there's no thing, and you probably have a thing which makes
Your
Mikey
shirts
Foden.
are the thing. Like, look at this shirt, MF. Like
Yeah,
your shirts.
he made me. Do you know that I don't know how to pronounce it, but it's this woman or a girl that plays Annie official A.N.Y. She actually does really well. She's more hard techno-ish, and she also always played in her bedroom and like all this hard stuff. And he actually reminds me a little bit of her, like a common. You look pretty common, and it's like decency, and I don't know what. And if you then put out the music, that gives like this contrast.
Yeah,
Yeah, I see he does trance, which I actually like, classic trance, and then with the t-shirt kind of creates this like absurdity which
yeah,
could be your thing. And if you have like this, yeah, and especially if you're big on classic trance tracks, that's
point that
really
out.
a
Yeah,
cool thing.
exactly.
Yeah,
Yeah, I always say you need to find something that makes you weird to other people. You know,
yeah.
something that people say like, "Hey, that's really something he does," but most people don't. And that could be the shirts. Like the first thing I noticed as well, oh, this guy has a lot of different shirts than I wear. You know, so
Mm.
that could be something.
Well, I think also you would be better off if you would wear those shirts, Joey,
Probably.
because let's be honest, if we're, yeah, man,
We have the same style, Ralph. Like we match every
no,
single time.
No.
no.
We have the same
Well, that's
hairdresser.
it for this week,
Yeah,
everybody. Thank you
exactly.
for listening. I'm gonna drive over
Anyway,
to Joey right now and kick his ass.
to end this thing, like Mikey, you're doing a great job, but really try to double down on what makes you a bit weird. Like make it a bit more out
Unique.
there. Yeah, make it
You
a bit
need a
more.
thing,
Yeah,
Mikey. You need a thing.
find your thing.
A
Exactly.
thing.
That's probably the thing.
and
Exactly.
stick to it. If it works, stick to
Stick
it.
to it. Consistency is key.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mark, is there anything you want to leave us with?
Any cool tracks
Um,
coming out? Is
Oh
there
yeah, it's
like
chill
this?
hour. Something to
It's
chill.
like I've worked with this artist, or I did this, and or this track is coming up, or
so for next year, I'm trying to release my very first album.
dude.
Yeah. So that's going to be a really big project, something I'm super excited for. And also, especially because of the whole branding I want to do and like custom designs and also release party. So that's going to be a really big project for me.
Cool.
I am working with a lot of really cool artists. I have a song with Griffin
Oh,
Nice.
sick,
that is
nice.
set for next year, and then some other artists within the drum and bass scene like K9, Andrew Medic. Um,
It's hard to collab for you. I mean, yeah.
But he could
What?
also be very interesting to collab with because it kind of gives you a hall pass to try out something else, right?
Yeah, but if it, I mean, let's think from a bass checker's perspective. I wouldn't know. I mean, obviously, a good producer makes you interested. We don't play drum and bass.
I
well, yeah, but that's why the people that I work with, they are definitely playing drum and bass.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah, yeah,
I mean, I did a song with Julian Jordan actually a couple
yeah. I
months
know.
ago,
Yeah,
Operator. But that was a song that like we wanted to collab together, but also find a really good way of drum and bass, and then the second drop will be hard techno.
hmm.
yeah.
Um,
There was an angle I was thinking because kinda sound-wise, drum and bass is not so far
I
away
think
from techno-ish
I
sounds.
think you guys could be doing something. Like there is something there
I
in
mean,
the
Uh,
I'm
middle.
down. We could give it a shot.
Hey, you're always welcome. I think good producer here is always welcome, and if it leads to nothing at all, it's still gonna be a
At
fun
least you
day.
had a good
So
time, you
It's
yeah,
know.
always
yeah,
fun. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay. Anything else, or was that everything
An
you want to share?
album, that's a really good one.
Album.
And
Yeah,
Griffin
yeah,
is a
yeah,
great name.
Yeah.
yeah. And
Nice.
then and then a lot of official remixes too. Like I actually have a remix for Showtech Booyah.
Oh.
That
Oh,
is about to
I
be.
saw you posting something about it. Like you played it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I played it at every show, and it's probably going to be an official release too. So
Yeah,
that's
I
gonna
Oh,
liked
be.
it.
that's
I was,
awesome.
I heard, I was like, oh, this is pretty creative. Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you,
Yeah,
thank
it's
you.
And
nice.
then Wouter, does he have a lot of comments on what you did, or?
I actually don't talk to Showtech directly.
Oh,
It's my manager with his manager.
okay.
So yeah.
Well,
Okay.
I know Wouter pretty well, and
Yeah.
he's one of the toughest
The pickiest.
motherfuckers out there. He's a great producer as well, and
Mm,
but he's oh man, he can be picky about certain small shit.
really.
Oof.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's what
Good luck.
makes good stuff,
Yeah.
That's true.
So
That's true.
I do respect it quite a
Ralph,
lot.
do you have anything to show?
No, whenever we have a guest, it's
Give them
I
the floor.
just lean back and yeah, just divert them to our socials, which is instagram.com/basscheckers. Now, it's
That's it.
Arcando's time, and I want to thank you. It's an
Yeah.
interesting talk. Yeah,
Thank you,
Thank you.
Mark.
Yeah,
Thanks for
thank you so
taking the
much for
time.
having me, and I
yeah,
hope everybody had a good time. And yeah, maybe I'll be back again. Let's say in another year or so.
Yeah, definitely should be
yeah,
fun.
definitely. Yeah,
Let's
Yeah,
do it. Yeah.
awesome.
Everybody listening, thanks for tuning in. Thanks for sending in your questions into our Discord. If you're not part of that community yet, make sure to check the description of this episode because the link is right there to join. Um, we will be back next week. We actually have quite a few guests lined up. Not next week, but the week after we have Kura,
cool,
Oh,
and the week after that we have Dub Vision.
cool.
And the week after that, not the week, like a few weeks after that, is Marrow again. So that's going to be fun as well.
Oh yeah,
So we have a cool ending of the year coming up. So yeah, looking forward
stay
to it.
tuned.
Stay tuned. Mark, thanks. Have a
awesome.
great day.
Thank you
And
so much.
everyone listening, enjoy your day as well. Bye bye.